But we started noticing the phones and then coins, like platinum silver coins, like the real expensive ones were showing up missing. And that thing felt like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I don't care how much ice you have in this thing. There's no way it's this heavy. So once he came back in, we had him, open it up. He's like, it's just water and ice. You look in there, you could see the containers with the coins in it. So he's admitted to stealing phones. We actually caught him red-handed with these coins on his person. Started noticing around that time down in Willowbrook, down in Houston, hey, we're getting a lot of theft of just cell phones from that one trailer. Like, I don't have any other theft issues, but just that one trailer. So me and a partner down south have been working together, got going back and forth.
Down south? What do you mean down south?
Houston. So
okay.
So this guy loads a trailer that goes to Houston, right? These two other guys that are in that trailer with him, he won't snitch on them. But we started noticing the phones and then coins, like platinum silver coins, like the real expensive ones were showing up missing. They were being scanned that they left here, but they were never, or they would get to Houston, they would open the trailer, they're unloading the trailer, the boxes are all empty. So they were stealing them out of the packages here, leaving the empty packages in there, and then, finding ways to conceal and get it out the door. So today I decided to bring him in without, we didn't have to bring up cameras or anything like that. A little bit of questioning with me and my partner. And you confess that, I've stolen phones. Doesn't have any on him right now. Well, when him and his union store stepped outside to speak, because they're allowed to do that, he had his water jug sitting there and there's a tumbler. So me and my partner went to go pick it up, and that thing felt like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I don't care how much ice you have in this thing. There's no way it's this heavy. So once he came back in, we had him, open it up.
What's interesting here is that many viewers might think the case is pretty much closed the moment the coin is found in the water bottle. But from an investigative standpoint, this is merely the starting point. Try putting yourself in the shoes of the UPS manager at that moment. You have an employee under suspicion. You find a valuable item hidden in their personal belongings. However, discovering an item inside a water bottle doesn't automatically prove the full extent of the theft. There is a more important question. Was this an impulsive act, or is it just one link in a prolonged chain of behavior? Because according to the manager, the company had been recording the loss of phones and other valuable items over a certain period of time. That means investigators aren't just looking at the coin in the water bottle. They are trying to determine whether this is the suspect behind the multiple other thefts. And this is a common misconception in internal thefts. Many people believe that if they are caught with a single item, the consequences will be strictly limited to that item. But in reality, when the investigation begins to expand, authorities typically review the history of missing inventory, surveillance footage, shift logs, movement routes, and previous complaints. In other words, the coin in the water bottle might only be worth a few $100s, but its true legal significance lies in the fact that it could become the key to unlocking the entire bigger picture behind it.
He's like, it's just water and ice. You look in there, you could see the containers with the coins in it. So he's admitted to stealing phones. We actually caught him red-handed with these coins on his person.
Okay, but did you see him? Did he admit to taking those coins?
Yep.
Okay, and when? And do you have a witness?
Yep. Yeah, my partner's in there when we question him. His union steward was in there when we questioned him. They're all still in the office.
Okay, yeah, but we have to have a little.
Right.
We have to have actually somebody see him take them and put them in the. There's got to be something connecting him to those coins.
There's no video.
At the moment, no. He admitted to stealing. He
said, and that's cool.
Right.
That's all. That's everything that we can
I know what
add.
you need. Right.
But to take him to jail, we have to have.
Right.
We have to.
Credible witness. He's
right.
It's reliable witness.
Right.
I'm saying. So as of now, we could probably put charges on, but we can't. Bring him to jail with us.
And we can gather as much information as we can, but we're going to have to Mirandize him.
Right.
First of all, and then he can tell us to.
Right.
So.
Right. I'm here to follow whatever instruction and direction you give me.
Okay.
So if you can only file charges, it's fine. Obviously I'm going to, deactivate his badge, get him off property.
We probably should have got some burgers doing a witness statement on what. Okay.
I'll have to type mine up and I can,
What are you guys going to be doing are you guys terminating him?
Oh, yeah.
And you want to pursue charges?
Yes.
Okay. So right now we have the the only thing we have is his admittance of stealing phones, and then we have this. So and we just need the quantity, the value of that, and then his admittance to what he was stolen, and then a CID will investigate.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Anything you need. And we use this timestamp app and everything, so it's on now, right? It's not like, oh, I gotta guess my no. There you go.
Does he know your
far without getting him angry and then he goes and does something stupid.
Ed, how are you?
Orlando. Yes, yeah. Nice to meet you. Okay.
These are my friends.
Okay. So, gentleman still in there.
He's in there.
So I'm
Did you get a count of coins? Okay.
I'll just let you.
Yeah. Good. How you doing, sir? Yeah. How you doing, ma'am?
Hello.
Good, man. I'm gonna subject you to a video that for quick. Good. All right. Before I ask you any questions, tell you anything, I'm gonna have to read you your rights. Okay. All right. This is your Miranda warning. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used. Did you take these coins?
I did.
You did. Okay. You took them out of a package. Well, how did you take them?
Yeah.
Where you get the coins from?
Yeah. I did.
You took them out of a package or something? Or they got shipped? Okay. Alright. Okay. Did you know the value of these items before you took it? Oh. Did you take anything else on this property? No? You taking nothing else? Okay.
This is perhaps the most crucial moment of the entire case. Not the moment the coin was found, not the moment the police arrived at the scene, but right now, when the suspect has just been read their Miranda rights. Many people who watch interrogation videos often get the impression that after hearing the Miranda warning, a suspect will almost certainly remain silent and request a lawyer. But in reality, it is often the exact opposite. A lot of people start talking even more. Why? Because psychologically, they believe that if they cooperate, are honest, or offer a reasonable explanation, the situation will become less severe. The problem is, the police are under no obligation to argue with you, nor do they need to prove everything right then and there. What they need to do is listen. Every answer helps them reconstruct the timeline, corroborate evidence, or spot inconsistencies. And what is notable in this case is that physical evidence already existed before the conversation even started. The coin had been found. Witnesses were present. The property had been seized. That means the suspect's statement is no longer the sole source of evidence. It becomes a tool to corroborate what investigators already know. This is why many criminal defense attorneys often emphasize a very simple rule. When you believe that you can explain things better than the police understand them, that is usually when you are misjudging your position in the investigation.
Hold on. Do you need to call your wife?
Yeah.
Okay. Can he call his wife?
At this point, no.
No, he can't call his wife.
Not right this minute. We're still investigating.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
sorry.
no, we're not. Okay, just a few questions. When you took the coins, you put them in this bottle here? Okay. And when did you take those? When did you actually remove them from packaging and put them in the bottle?
This morning.
This morning? About what time? Where were you at when you took them? Where were you at on the property?
What you mean?
Well, did they truck or were they on the line?
Yeah, in the truck. In the truck?
So they came out of the back of a truck?
Yeah.
Okay. And where was the truck parked?
Door 101.
Door 101? Okay. And you don't know how many you took? You don't know the value? You haven't taken anything else from this property ever at any point? You've never taken cell phones? I
have.
Okay, so not today?
Not today.
Okay. But over the course of how much time did you take?
I don't know.
You don't know how long have you worked here?
Couple of months.
Couple months?
I haven't even been here that long.
You haven't been here that long. Do you have a general idea how many phones you've taken? Okay. Do you know what type of phones you've taken? Not. You don't know what kind of phones you took, but you took some phones. You just.
Yeah,
okay.
I won't.
Okay. Have you written out a witness statement to them, telling them what you did, or no?
No. Are you willing to? Say what? Are you willing to write out a statement? I mean, what's that gonna do? No, I'm asking. I mean, it's a statement. It's just you being truthful. That's all it is. I already.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine. I was just asking. Sometimes they have you write out a witness statement. So that's what I was asking, is if they had you write.
I didn't write nothing. I just signed the
Okay.
resignation.
Okay, that's all you wrote.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is his union steward. Per their contract, he has a right to refuse to write a statement.
Okay. And you.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just sitting here. No,
Okay.
I'm just a union steward. I basically am here to protect him and his
Okay.
rights.
Right.
And as his right, he can either say the right one
exactly,
or not.
and that's why I asked.
Yeah, no.
Because I know that sometimes they do write out witnesses, so
Some do.
that's why I was asking.
Some do.
And I don't know if they're for you, because you work for the union, correct?
Well, he works for UPS, but since he works for UPS, he's a union employee.
I see.
So
Okay.
anytime there's any kind of this kind of discussion or
Right.
discipline or anything
Exactly.
else,
Okay.
we're present for their
Okay.
sake.
Okay.
You have your ID on you, sir? License?
And I stay quiet until you talk to me.
There is a very thought-provoking aspect to this case that many people often overlook. That is the difference between being caught red-handed and incriminating oneself. On the surface, we might assume that the case was solved the moment the coin was found. But in actual legal proceedings, things are rarely that simple. Prosecutors always want to have multiple layers of evidence: physical evidence, witness testimony, surveillance footage, and if possible, the suspect's own confession. What makes this case notable is that those layers of evidence emerged one after another and supported each other. The coin was found. The UPS employee confirmed the discovery process. The suspect admitted to taking the coin, then went on to admit to taking the phones beforehand. Each new detail does not replace the old evidence. It makes the entire case stronger. But from a broader perspective, this is also a lesson about trust in the workplace. Shipping companies like UPS, FedEx, or Amazon handle millions of packages every day. The entire system operates on the assumption that employees will not exploit their access to other people's property. When an employee breaches that trust, the damage often far exceeds the value of the stolen item. It impacts inspection protocols, surveillance costs, and how the company treats its entire workforce moving forward. That is why, in many similar incidents, what triggers a strong reaction from the business is not the amount of money lost. Rather, it is the shattering of the trust that the system relies on to survive.
I've learned.
No, I just you want to make sure that we get all the questions that
I know.
The address on here, correct?
and we'll just need we'll have to get pictures. Just hang up the phone.
It's bad.
Yeah, we got to get pictures of all this too before we leave. And then you guys have witness statements. You and your other,
Yeah.
because and then a return of property, because you're going to do one of your sheets on the property and it being returned to you.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get pictures of that real quick.
Okay. Let's get it.
If I could get pictures of it over here.
You want to about it? I can take everything else, and y'all can quit everything else.
Well, hold on. Can she come by here?
Yes, that's what I was trying to see. I think she said she was on her way.
Well, I mean, the keys here. I'm not going to be responsible for them, but they might be able to responsible for them. But I can't. I don't want to be responsible for your stuff.
No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? But I'll let him make that decision if he wants to do. Sure, yeah. He gets it all.
So I had to hang up the phone. I was trying to see if she was saying she was on her way.
Yeah, property form.
Yes, that was returned, because we'll need a copy of that. And this is all the property you have? Okay.
Do you want his badge?
Yes. And I guess once you get to a stopping point at some point, just reply to the text with your email address, and then
If I can get involved.
that'll save us a lot of time in the future.
No, I'm not gonna take your laying your manager. You laying your bro. What's your manager? I'm gonna leave my stuff in here for now. I'm gonna come back. I'm not doing stuff anyways.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Available today. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me. You got it unlocked. I'll turn it on. Yep. Get this. Don't want somebody to follow.
So,
Yeah, I need. We need some.
Oh shit. Uh-uh. I'm stuck. Hold on.
all right. There you go.
Yeah, if you have the other two that have their information, we'll take that too, and we'll add that to the
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Do you want to pick it up, or do you want me to email it to you?
What, that information?
Yep.
You can just
Email.
you can
You
email
all
it to
over.
me.
Yeah.
Because we'll have to come back out and pick up the. Okay. Let me have him put on the air, okay? Put the air on for him, because it's kind of hot. Don't hit that brake.